Okay, in this video, we'll be showing you how to create this advanced part. This part was actually created mostly with extrudes. There are a couple of revolve features on here that were used. You can see here it's noted that detail C and section DD show the information needed to create those revolve features. And so we won't worry about those in this video, but we will create the basic shape of this wheel using extrudes. One thing, when I see this wheel, one thing I notice that I want to use while I'm modeling is I can see that if I were to draw a line down the middle of this, I can see that it's symmetric on both sides. I can make that assumption. And so when I model this, I'm most likely going to use the mid-plane extrudes because that will allow me a symmetry, as we saw in the last video, which will make for more efficient modeling. And so another thing I can note is the fact that this wheel is created with this big rim and this hub here in the middle, which are both relatively simple, as well as it seems everything else is built around those. So I'm going to begin by creating those two parts there of the wheel, which are again going to be this hub and this rim. And so I will do that in SOLIDWORKS by sketching a couple sets of circles. So I'll open this sketch here and I will begin sketching my first set of circles, which this will be the outer part of the rim, which was 20 inches in diameter. We'll do another circle here, which was 18 in diameter. Okay, and when I extrude this, you'll notice it actually creates a disc, which is really nice because that's exactly what I need. Rather than extruding the one circle and then extrude cutting through the middle of it, I can actually just do it all in one feature. And again, like I said, this part is symmetric about the middle, and so I'm going to do mid-plane just to keep all that symmetry there. And so I can hit this check mark, and I'm done with that extrude. Now I can do another extrude on that same plane, which with another couple sets of circles to create this hub in the middle. Let's get the dimensions on here and this dimension here. Okay. And we will extrude that 3 inches. And again, we'll make it from the mid plane. And you'll notice that we've got these two main portions. Okay. And here I want to teach you something about solid bodies. So we can see here we have two separate what are called solid bodies. We have this first extrude and this second extrude. SOLIDWORKS is nice in that you can have multiple solid bodies in the same file. They don't have to be touching. If they were touching, we could combine them into one solid body, which we will actually do later. But just keep an eye out for stuff like this. If sometimes you might be running into issues and you don't realize that you actually have multiple solid bodies when you intend only to have one, or vice versa. So keep an eye on that. Okay. Now the next portion of this wheel that we want to create are these cutouts in the middle, as well as filling in that space right there with another extrude. And so this sketch is a little bit complicated. Hopefully from the drawing you can gather what you have to do there. So I'm going to begin doing that sketch on this same plane that I did the other ones. And I will start doing that, and then I'll pause the recording and come back once I've got it fully defined. Okay, so I have fully defined this portion of the sketch, which is the same portion that you can see in this detail A of the drawing. One little tip: you have to make sure that you make this line parallel, or sorry, horizontal, and this one vertical, and you should be able to fully define that sketch pretty simply if you do that. Now I'm circular patterning, or I'm using the circular pattern to create 5 of those, and I will do that. And then now, if you notice, if I were to extrude this right now, we've got 5 separate solid bodies that would be created, and that's not really what we want. What we actually want is to create this negative space here. The white space is actually the space that we want to create. So we can do that by actually using the convert entities tool. We could use the circle tool. I'm just going to use convert entities because I don't have to draw anything that's not already there. I'll do that, and I will do that one there. Okay. So now you'll notice we've got multiple sets of space here that are closed loops, and so I can do my extruded boss. And we can see just from that preview that it's giving us the right shape of what we want, so that's good. And it only needs to be 1/4 of an inch, and we want it to be mid-plane as well. Okay, and so here's where the multiple bodies comes into play. If I don't select merge result there, you'll notice it'll create that extrude, but we will still have 3 separate solid bodies, 1, 2, 3. Okay, but that's not what I want. I want them to be all one singular body, and I can actually accomplish that during the extrude, which all I have to do, if I go back in here and I edit it and I select merge result, you'll notice now we've only got 1 solid body, which is the whole wheel, which is a really nice little part there to that feature. So now we've got the wheel, the main outline, and we just have one more feature that we need to add, and that is these spokes on here, okay, which you can see here. And I will do that, using an extrude again. And so what I'll do is I will sketch on this face right here. I'll open up a sketch, and I will start by drawing a line here, which touches both of these. And we can see from the drawing that this line is parallel to here. And there's a certain distance there, but I'll work on fully defining this for a moment. And now what I want to do is I want to use that convert entities again, so that I can get this arc in between here. So I will convert that circle, and I will convert this circle again onto this sketch. But I only want that middle portion, so I'm going to trim away the outside, and so you'll notice that it keeps that middle arc, and I'll trim away the outside here, and so it keeps that arc there. So you'll notice now we have this little closed loop here. We'll do the circular pattern again. If I select all those, do the circular pattern so that we can have 5 of those so that they can be in the right place, and we're good to go. Okay, so now we can do our extrude. Okay, and this extrude will be pretty much the most complicated one we've done so far. Nothing too crazy, but again, a little bit more complicated. So we'll go to this feature and we'll do the extruded boss. Only we will use the surface up to surface. Okay, we'll go to here just so we can go all the way up to that surface there. That part's not too complicated, but here's a fun part. We notice that we've got to do this feature on both sides of the wheel, because we can see from the drawing that it's on both sides. It's a little bit difficult to see there, but you can see it here. Again, here it's at an angle. Again, that will be accomplished using the revolve later, but we can see at least that we need to do this extrude on both sides. And so we can do that a number of ways. We can use use a mirroring tool, but for the sake of this video, since we're doing extrudes, we might as well do an extruded, use extrudes for it. And so what I'm going to do is I'll start my extrude feature. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find that sketch that I used last time, okay, which is sketch 5. Now I don't want it to go from that sketch plane, because if I go from that particular sketch plane, it's just going to extrude, and we'll end up with, twice the amount of stuff in the same space, which that's pretty useless for us. So that's where we can change where this is from, our starting condition. And so I'm going to say from a surface, a particular surface, which I now select, which is going to be this surface. Okay, that's what I want. I need to change the direction of it because I don't want it going through the middle of our wheel there. And then I'm going to say the ending condition is up to the surface again, and we'll do this surface this time. Okay, and now we are good to go. And so we've got that basic shape of the wheel. And that's that.